Yo, what's happening everybody, King GBL here, and welcome back to a brand new Go Bat League video. Today I'm going to be showcasing a very strong team in the Fossil Cup. The Great League is now finishing today, and I decided I wanted to show you my best team in this cup. I've always been positive with this team every time I've used it. Generally this week I've been playing Open Great League, but I think with this team in the Fossil Cup, if you're looking to make a climb, or looking to try and gain elo, this is quite a strong one. We've got Pelipper in the lead, with Registeel and Quagsire. Now today's question is, are you going to be playing Fossil Cup or Ultra League? Do let me know in the comment section down below. I may do a little bit of both depending on what you guys say in the comments. This team performed really well, and most of the games I lost were either like super hard counter RPS with lantern leads, which I did get a few lantern leads and we were able to win some of those, which of course I will showcase in this video. And of course the Fairphone match is very awkward. Generally it's a pretty even matchup, which is more in favour of Fairphone. They can one-shot you with a Thunder or look to two-shot you with Power Web. The only way you win that match in the two-shield scenario is by baiting twice and landing the Hurricane, or in general landing the Hurricane right. So if the opponent thinks you're baiting and tries to make a call, like let's say you shield up the first one, they might let it go, and that's how you win that match. Gyarados and Skarmory can be quite difficult for this team in the lead, but they're Pokemon that you don't see quite as often. With those teams you might want to try and catch an Aquatail or a Crunch on Reggie, or in the case of Skarmory, try to catch maybe a Brief Bird or a Scat Attack on the Reggie. Those are definitely very awkward. We're seeing a Fairphone lead here, so let's hop into the battles and see what we do. The opponent will outpace us to the move. I'm going to respect the Thunder the first time every time, and at that point the opponent's got a shield advantage, so they're a little bit more inclined in my opinion to let the first move go. I throw after 1 here, but I prefer throwing after 4, and what I decide to do here is try and farm it down. Now, I feel like what I should be doing here is probably trying to catch on Reggie, but in this occasion I just farm it down and take switch advantage. At this point our Pelipper is very low, and they actually come in with a Lantern. We've got 2 answers to it, so I decide to come straight into Reggie. We've stored a ton of energy in Pelipper, and hopefully that will come in handy later on to hopefully snipe something. Now, it's going to take more than 2 Mud Bombs to take us out, so if they come into a farm down after the second Mud Bomb, they're going to have to eat another Focus Blast for their troubles. Registeel is just super broken in this cup. It is rank 1, and there's a lot of teams that just do not respect this Pokemon. I even think in the lead Registeel could be quite good. We get this off with minimal HP. This is either going to force a shield or take out the Quagsire. The opponent's going to put it all in Lantern, and they're going to realise that they made a big mistake. In comes Quagsire, and at this point, it takes roughly 2 Mud Bombs plus Mud Shots to take this thing out. Lantern is super thick, that they're eating these super effective moves. That is of course the benefit of this Pokemon getting the move update. We go for CMP in this thing. You always try to CMP with Quagsire versus Lantern if possible, and the opponent does for the move. Now I can still live another move, but I decide I'm going to have to shield something at some point, so I might as well do it now or do it later. I'm going to try and CMP once again, and I think at this point it's just good games. There's not really a whole lot the opponent can do. They do shield that one. They do get off another move. I'm going to insta-throw this move and then just swap into Pelipper and look to go for a snipe, and that's going to be a good game. As you can see, we do just about live that with the Surfs, and I don't exactly have the best IVs on this thing, so if you've got slightly better Shadow IVs, it's definitely better. Now you're probably asking me in the comments, should I go for a Shadow or go for the normal Quagsire? Normal Quagsire is fine. The main difference is that it cannot one-shot a Pelipper, and it does much less damage with Stone Edge to Escavalier, so it's a little bit of a trade-off for the extra health. It might be a little bit more comfortable against Lantern, but you're definitely losing out in quite a lot of positive matchups. Anyway guys, welcome back man. I haven't uploaded in a few days. I've been trying to gain elo off, without recording. I've been using just sweaty teams in the Great League, and I've been kind of bouncing up and down. My highest elo was 2710, which is what I got with this team, and I went all the way down to like 2620. And we're all the way back up to like 2670 here with this team. So it's been a bit of an up and down, but overall, every time I use this team I do go quite positive. So I do highly recommend trying it out. As you see, Escavalier comes in, and if we get a debuff, we can usually get off 2 moves here if they commit to a Drill Run and Farm Down. This is kind of insane here. The opponent lets the first one go, so I can actually lock on this thing down. If I shield this once, or even just let it go, I can probably lock on this down before they get off another move, which is just kind of crazy if you think about it. Now, in comes the Mawile here. We're going to just dump this Zap Cannon instantly. You do go for Zap Cannon on this thing. Boom. Both of these moves are neutral because it's Steel and Fairy. And we'll come back in, or we're going to come in with our Quagsire for the farm down. The opponent does make a last second move. We're absolutely fine to eat this. This is definitely not enough for Play Rough, and of course Iron Head will be resisted. I expected them to go for the snipe with this thing, and I know I can definitely live a Power Whip on this Pokemon. Arguably I should have just stayed in there and maybe thrown on CMP or something, and they might have let it go. But I thought that I wanted to try and get off multiple moves on this, because I've got so much energy in Quagsire, right, that I can probably get off 1 or 2 Mud Bombs. So all we have to do is just let this go, and you're going to see once again the benefit of Shadow Quagsire. We're going to throw after 1 for good timing, and at this point, even if the opponent does make a move, this Mud Shot will basically look to take them out. That's going to be a good game, well played. All we have to do is shield this up, and that Mud Shot that went through will take them out. Good games, or so I thought. The opponent's still alive. We do get the Mud Shot down. Good thing they didn't get to another move, or I would have just absolutely lost it there in that situation. Definitely a little bit of a lapse of concentration there. I was convinced that Mudshot would have took them out, but apparently not. Apparently not. We had to farm them down. Good games well played. And once again, you know, just that's a note on Shadow Quagsire. That extra damage against Ferrothorn, which is, of course, its hardest counter in this cup, unless you include Kartana or Ludicolo. That extra damage is so clutch, and I highly recommend running Shadow if you do have it. Very good lead, Swampert. Pelipper is going to dominate this match, and in comes a Pelipper of their own. Now, this actually, funny enough, Jamie was watching me play some of these games today, and one thing he was mentioning was that this is quite close in the 2-shield if they make it close. They're going to get off 2 Weller Balls before I get off a move, which is going to put me into close to 50% health, and it means if the Pelipper shields, they can look to pretty much, you know, almost take switch or almost take me out. I'm going for an undercharge because I'm pretty sure like it still one-shots them anyway, and if they let it go, I can farm them down. Another Weller Ball coming through. We should maybe just about get off another one here in time, but as you can see, Pelipper is making this very, very close. If they get to another Weller Ball and shield, I'm happy enough. I'm going to take shield advantage. We're up 2 shields. This is an amazing position to be in. And again, you can see I was probably going to get to another move. The opponent correctly goes for an overfarm, and I think what I might like to do is probably just respect the Hurricane and come in and go for a Hurricane of my own with Pelipper. So we are just a little bit ahead in energy in terms of them getting up to the Hurricane now. Yeah, so they bait here, which is basically pointless at this stage. This is going to be just another Weller Ball, and I think at this point, since I've dumped their energy, I can go for a slight overfarm as well. I'm not sure why I'm going Weller Ball. Oh, actually, because of course they're super low here, and one wing attack will take them out. And in comes Ferrothorn, and we're going to YOLO the Hurricane on this thing, and at this point we should be in a very good position. As you can see, that does about 65% roughly, but we still have a shield, and I'm expecting them to go for a catch here. So we're going to shield up the Grass Knot, and we'll see if the opponent goes for a catch or not. Yep, back in comes Swampert. I decide here just to keep the energy and go into Quagsire. I probably could have threw off a Weller Ball and put them in Mud Bomb range, but what I did not want to happen was for them to have extra farm in the Ferrothorn, so I was happy just to basically come in here and sacrifice this thing. I've got an attack-weighted Pelipper, and generally Pelipper is slightly more attack-weighted than Swampert. It's a very close CMP, so I'm pretty confident with my 5 attack. I should be winning most CMPs with Swampert. The opponent, they didn't even overfarm to the back-to-back anyway, and at this point, the Ferrothorn super low. They're probably in Weller Ball range. I panic because I thought, oh, what if they're going to get to the move? I panic and throw the Weller Ball. It doesn't quite take them out. It doesn't take them out, but we just about do take them out in time. So I'm making an absolute pig's ear of this match, but because the opponent was energy dry, we're able to take them out. That's a good game, very well. Well, I don't know about very well played, but good game nonetheless. We've got Golden Kiwi here. What's Golden Kiwi got? An S-Cavalier lead, amazing lead for Pelipper, and in comes Quagsire. Now, I'm not swapping straight out here because I don't really have an amazing answer. I go for the Stone Age CMP here, and what I might like to do is get off another Weller Ball. Now, I think I decide to, respect this move. It is a Mud Bomb. A little bit unfortunate. I'm going to get this off immediately, and I think they're, what, like 3 or 4 off the next one. They let that go. We're going to farm up to the next move. Do I call this one or do I shield it? I do respect this as well. This is another Mud Bomb, so I'm going to try and commit to the farm down. We're going to fire this off and see what the opponent wants to do. If the opponent shields this, I'll just swap out and catch it. We do swap it out. They're just at the Stone Edge here, and we're going to look to eat that resisted damage, and yeah, good games to them. Now, 0 shield scenario, this is where the Shadow is a lot better. Look at the raw damage this is about to do. Don't make this mistake, go for Stone Edges on this thing in the 0 shield. I've definitely thrown Mud Bombs on this thing before, and they're in a range where we can just farm them down with either Reggie or a Pelipper and come out with a move basically for the next Pokemon. I do decide to wait my clock down, come in with Reggie, go for a lock on down. And at this point, the Quags are so low, they're not really going to get to another move, so we just lock on down the Quag. Actually, I was afraid they were getting to a move, so I wing attack it. In comes Lantern. All we need to do is just get off a Hurricane and a Weller Ball, which puts them into Zap Cannon range. 2 Thunderbolts will not take out Reggie from full health. They need, I think, 2 Thunderbolts and a Surf at the very least to take it out, and that's a good game. We still have a little bit of residual energy that we farmed up, and all we have to do is go for Focus Blast. This Lantern in the back, whenever they farm up to 100 energy, they're going to be 2 off the next one, so that's something for you to keep in mind. They're just getting to the move now, and that wouldn't even take us out anyway. Good games well played, and let's hop into the next one. The thing I love about this team, and with Reggie and the Safe Swap, is that it wins so many 0s and 1s, and I've noticed the double Mudboy team is definitely drying up a little bit. Now we have a Sandslash lead. This is a positive match for Sandslash. What I decide to do is try and CMP the Sandslash. They overfarm, which is very correct, and boom, they let the first move go. The second Mother Ball won't quite take out, but their Shadow Claws are adding up a lot more. So what I might look to do is overfarm. Yeah, they try to go for the catch here, and we're farming up to the Hurricane. We come into this thing, and now what I realise at this point is that this could be one of those teams with double weak to Reggie. Because think about it, right? What is Sandslash weak to? It's weak to counter. I'm terrible with the timing these days on Reggie. My timings definitely went to hell with this Pokemon. I let them get a full hex for free. It's something that it's very, very important. If you let them get free hexes, it can flip matches. I shield up once, the opponent will get to another move. I could have outpaced them there slightly. That's perfectly fine. Shield Ball coming through, and we're going to look to get off yet another move. I've thrown good timing that time, and we're going to look to hopefully take this thing out. Yeah, we do take it out. Now back in comes Sandslash. I'm going to go for Weather Ball and CMP, which won't quite take it out, but it will get it very, very low. The opponent respects the damage, and they're going too far off the Ice Punch. The Ice Punch coming through, that's going to take us out. And I think at this point, I go for the Farm Down with Quag. I will have to eat a Drill Run, but I'm thinking a Stone Edge is going to be very handy. I'm thinking it is Pelipper in the back. And as you're about to see here, the Stone Edge is going to look to take them out. The opponent gets off the move first here, and since the opponent got off the move first, I decided to go for a slight overfarm, just to guarantee that I outpace the Sandslash. But either way, we have Energy and Reggie. We would outpace to this move anyway, because it's basically 5-4, right, for the Mud Bomb. But if you throw a Stone Edge, it'll make your next Mud Bomb 4 as well. So even if I had just thrown that instantly, I was getting to the next one in 4. This game here, Escavalier lead and coming into Pelipper. As you've seen earlier, this can get very close. And this could be one of those teams that is just like super, super weak to Reggie. So we'll see what the opponent wants to do. They get off 2 Weather Balls before we get off a move. And if we can take shield advantage or switch advantage, that's perfect. Both of my Pokemon in the back can deal with Escav. Stone Edge will look to almost one-shot it, and of course Hurricane will one-shot it. Boom, they let it go, and back in comes Escav. And once again, you're going to see the power of Registeel here. We overfarmed, so we're getting to the Zap Cannon in time. If you're ever, honestly, if you're ever Escav in that situation, try to get off the Drill Run. It's super, super rough to get that move thrown on you, and you would rather throw the move than either have to eat it, or, you know, whatever. Mega Horn coming through, which does a lot of damage to this thing, and we're going to look to get off Weather Balls. This is the safer play, I feel like. The opponent, I think, no-shields it, which is definitely very good by them, and in comes Ferrothorn. This is getting a little bit awkward here. I'm going to go for the Weather Ball bait. This would get this thing super, super low, and they'd probably think I'm going to chip it and dip it, right? So, like, yeah, we're in a good position at this point. All we have to do is shield this up, and we'll have one more shield for Quagsire. We'll get off this Hurricane just before the farm is down, and we're looking to be just in a very good position now. We can just come in with Quagsire, go for one Mud Bomb, and that's going to be game over. And the opponent does get the farm down. Hopefully I don't have to shield up a move. We do have to shield up one, but at this point we're going to overfarm and get off a Stone Edge. So that's going to be good games. We do get this beautiful farm down right here. Back in comes this thing. Now they throw a move. What I decide to do here is farm up to the back-to-back, right? Drill Run coming through does not one-shot us, and we'll just have 2 Mud Bombs. One for this and one for Pharaoh, just to make sure there's no chance they can get to a move or do anything funny with us. Good games well played, and Quagsire, like, has been sweeping quite a lot of games. Generally, like, a lot of this, it's not really ABB this team, but a lot of the stuff this is weak to, Reggie's weak to as well. So Reggie sometimes draws out the best answer to that thing. So I feel like Quagsire in the back is just such a strong sweeper with Reggie in the team. In comes this thing. Again, this Pokemon is just so good with the Zero Shield scenario. We're getting off the Zap Cannon, which is going to look too close to one-shot this thing, or get the shield, which is a lot more likely. Now at this point they're going for the farm down. Can they get to it in time? They don't get to it in time, so they're going to have to throw another move. It was a temptation of mine to throw this next move, but I decide I'm going to come in and get a huge overfarm. We may have to eat a move in the process, but I think this Energy and Pelipper is going to be super valuable. Arguably I could go for a move, but I don't think it's going to take out from this range. And I think that was actually a CMP, which is kind of a little bit awkward. I respect the move, it's just the Iron Head. I don't think that was enough for the player off, so I should have just called that. We go for a nice here, and we're going to try and commit to this farm down. This is a little bit close. Come on, get this move, get this move. It is a power punch, so I know I can definitely live this, and yeah, definitely making that a little bit too close for my liking. But we've got a ton of energy, we're going to swap straight out, and in comes Araquanid. Now, arguably, I should be shielding the first one here, or baiting the first one, because of course they're going to Bubble Beam me, right? So like, that's probably a good bait opportunity right there, and the opponent will get off a Bubble Beam. Not expecting them to YOLO the move, and boom, there it is. So yeah, we're going to go for the next Stone Edge here. I think that might have been a CMP time. Let's have a look. They're getting us super low, and at this point we're almost forced to shield this Bubble Beam, which is pretty sad. Now, the switch clock's coming up, and I've got a Hurricane banked, so my hope here is to store up a ton of energy and go for the snipe, but we didn't even get off the CMP. You seen me click the move, but I didn't get the move off, and yet in comes Pelipper. Or Lantern, sorry. We can chip this down, but there's just nothing we can do at this point. We don't have enough health on this thing, and the opponent will get to the move. So you're seeing like a very awkward lead. Had that been just ever so slightly different, we would have won that matchup. Very, very unfortunate. And yeah, that's a good game. We needed the opponent was very quick with the swap. If we had a little bit of a delay, or if they just got to the move in one turn less, or if my switch timer came up one turn less, I probably would have won that match. The Hurricane would have one-shot that thing, and I could have got off potentially 2 Mud Bombs on the Lantern. They were getting pretty close to the move, but yeah, that was definitely a very, very close one. Ludicolo coming in, we're going to go for the Zap Cannon. You don't have to undercharge this because, as you can see, they can survive it pretty comfortably. It's perfect, they live it so perfectly that you can farm it down very well. This thing can no Hydro Pump, but you can live it, you just don't shield up Ludicolo. Let's see what they come in with. Yeah, they're coming in with Mawile. We're just going to fire off the Zap Cannon immediately. We're seeing a very thoughtful and a very skilled team here. Definitely not all about just RPS, you know. They've got a Lantern, speaking of RPS, and they're probably just going to take care of this Pokemon. But we should be in an okay position here. Quagsire should be able to sweep. Basically, all we want to do here is get it into Mud Bomb range, which we have accomplished, and we're in just a very good position. What I decide to do here is come in with Reggie and force them to throw. If they undercharge or don't throw the Thunderbolt, I will get off another move here, so they'll be forced to throw a move. They're going to realize, oh no, Reggie's so thick. And at this point, we can either like shield and farm down or build up to back-to-back. Doesn't really make too much of a difference here. We can just eat the first move. Play Rough is definitely a lot more threatening, so I just want to make sure Mawile doesn't have a chance to do anything. We're going to go to back-to-back here. From full health, this one Mud Bomb on the Shadow will take it out. This thing is super glassy, and yeah, we're not going to give them any chance to farm us down low or do anything. We're just getting off the moves immediately here. Back in comes Lantern, and we get a 2 Shield Flex. Let's go. I probably could have lived another Surf and went for a 2 Shield Flex, which I might have been tempted to do, to be honest with you. Pelipper versus Sandslash. So, Sandslash wins this in every shielding scenario, which I did not realize. And this is actually Absol, who's a very good player, plus factions in the same team as Henry and Jamie. So definitely a very good player here, and he's got a quite an interesting team. I'm going to throw this next move immediately and see what he wants to do. Yep, we're throwing this through it. It looked like I denied him, or it looked like a CMP, but as you're about to see, it wasn't. And he comes into Bruxish of all things. You know, whenever I first seen this, I thought, what is this Pokemon all about? Like, this is such a weird pick. But the more I think about it, this thing could be actually quite good in this cup. They get the debuff, which is pretty huge, which means that a Crunch will come very close to taking me out. This is super unfortunate here. They do go for the shield, and these confusions are adding up. I'm in the yellow. I think this Crunch will kill me. I wouldn't have had to have shielded this if not for the debuff. So this is definitely very unlucky here. I do kind of need to get rid of this stupid little fish. We're going to farm up to 100 to try and get off a move on the other thing. But since we're debuffed, we're just, yeah, we're going to get farmed down. They come in with a Politoed, which again is another really interesting pick. They go for a nice catch here on Sandslash. I'm happy enough to get rid of this thing because it had some energy. That's perfectly fine. We're going to come into Quag here and look to eat Weather Ball number 1. I believe they're up to 6 Mud Shots here at this point, so this cannot be the Earthquake. But as you're about to see here, they do win CMP of course, and this will come very close to taking us out. We should be able to get off maybe 2 moves on this thing, but this is definitely going to get very close. Let's see what the opponent decides to do here. These Weather Balls are so spammy. Can we get off another Mud Bomb just in time? They're going for the farm down. We do just about get it in time. So this again is going to be super close. I know they've got back-to-back Weather Balls here, so this is kind of tricky. I don't have a Weather Ball loaded on my Pelipper, otherwise I could just CMP it on the first one here, and he wouldn't get off both. So I have to insta-swap. He goes straight for the move, and at this point we're in just such an awkward range where he can actually look to go for a complete undercharge and farm this the whole way down and come out with a Weather Ball. Once again, I do not have a Weather Ball, and he wins CMP, so that's a good game, very well played to Absol. And yeah, let's hop into the next one. A little bit tough there, and Bruxish was kind of surprisingly good. Pelipper versus non-shadow Quagsire. This is not scary at all. The opponent will probably go for a bait here, but like, I literally do not care. Like, just throw the Stone Edge, bro. You cannot farm me down. Boom, Mud Bomb coming through. Nice bait there, buddy. And in comes Reggie. We come into our own Reggie, or our own Reggie, no, we come into this thing. I could have tried to get off the move first, and in this situation, you do need to throw 2 moves as a Reggie to take this thing out. So it's actually not a bad shout going for Zap Cannon the first time around to go for the debuff. In comes the Mud Bomb, boom, and at this point we're going to look to go for a CMP on the second Mud Bomb. We do CMP correctly here, and we'll see what the opponent wants to do. If they shield this, I can probably look to farm it down. They rightfully no shield it, and we're on minimal health, the opponent gets less farm, and we also get off a move here on the next Pokemon. In comes Quagsire, we're going to look to fire off a move, and if they actually commit to the farm down, we may even get off one more move. Let's have a look here. Can we get off this move in time? We do, and we win CMP. I've got probably a more attack weighted Quagsire. As you can see, it's 0-10-4, so you do end up getting more attack free on that thing. The opponent realizes that the writing is on the wall and so on, and that's a good game. Pelipper versus Ferrothorn. Once again, very awkward. We'll see how we decide to play it this time. So the opponent gets to these Thunders in 5, and it's actually 5, 5, and then 4 the third time around. So that's definitely good to keep in mind. The opponent goes for the Power Whip, which is pretty expected at this point. I decide to farm up 4 and go for the Hurricane, which it sort of looks like you're going for a bait because you're going for a huge overfarm. Boom! We land the move, and we catch the move on Reggie this time around. I feel like that's the best way you can play this match, personally. Shield up the first one, throw after 4, and then insta-catch. In comes Jellicent. Trainer, this is not an answer to Reginald. I am insta-shielding this. Insta-shield. What was in the lead? Ferrothorn. What is Ferrothorn weak to? Counter. What is good against counter? Pelipper. This is Pelipper in the back. I called it. I said, Jamie, this is Pelipper or Galissapod, and we're going to look to farm this bad boy the whole way down. They can get off one more Shadow Ball. They are debuffed at this point, but the opponent's in such a rough position here. I'm going to try and get a 100 energy. We do catch the Surf on the Pelipper just in time as well, which is a beautiful play here as well. We'll see what the opponent comes in with. Is it going to be a Pelipper of their own, or what are they going to go for here? This is still pretty close. It is a Macargo. I throw in bad timing here. You should throw after 2 on this, but because it's just straight on the swap, you know, I'm thinking this is just game over. Yeah, they go for the catch and fire 4, and that's not going to help you, buddy. It's not going to help you there. We're going to throw after 2, and we're just going to insta-throw the next move, which won't quite one-shot the thing, but it'll come close enough to the point where they can't really do anything. We go for the CMP. We still have energy in Reggie, or we can farm it down with Quagsire, which is what I think I decided to do. And yeah, there's not a single move that can throw in Quagsire. And yeah, it's just game over at this point. The opponent top left's mid-animation, and you love to see it. Macargo could be quite an interesting pick for this cop, but I don't know, I feel like it just gets completely shit on by the SCAV anyway. Like, it just gets the shit beat out of it. But it is quite bulky, so like, keep an eye out for it. Now, I play this match pretty badly. Thunderbolt, we resist everything, right? But boom, like, that's got us into 50%. This thing hits like a truck. And I didn't know the counts. I thought this could be another Thunderbolt, so I do decide to respect this. Just a Rock Blast, unfortunately. And we're going to commit to the entire farm down. So we're down a shield, but we're up so much energy. And yeah, we're going to look to put this to good use here, hopefully. The opponent should be coming in here immediately. I threw the wrong move, bro. I thought this was... I seen the grass typing, so I thought it was Pharaoh. But lucky enough, the opponent shields it. We come into Reggie, in comes this thing, we just swap straight out, and yeah, this is a good game. We can just eat a Mega Horn or an Acid Spray or whatever. Yep, nice Acid Spray, buddy. Nice Acid Spray. And we're going to go ahead and fire off this move. Yep, Water Ball coming through, the opponent lets it go, we'll just throw off another one instantly. And at this point, this is just a game, set, and match, folks. Do not cry because it is over, smile because it happened. Good games, well played. And let's hop into some of our last battles here. Today's a longer video, let me know if you guys do prefer the longer ones. We've got a Lantern lead, the opponent's in for a second, and in comes Pelipper. And once again, I'm like, huh. Interesting swap there, buddy. Interesting swap there. They shielded up, interesting shield there, buddy. We're going to, of course, get the debuff. We are under no, we're under no pressure here. These Miller Balls are just not hitting at all. They get off a second Miller Ball, but we're going to eat it up. They're basically rusting away this tin can, but this tin can is thick, and you cannot rust it that easily. Zap Cannon coming through, boom. They shielded up, they're going down 2 shields. And sadly for them, they're going to go down 2 shields and switch, which is just about the worst possible situation that you can envisage in Go Battle League. Now, I am a little bit worried that my Registeel would be strong against the back Pokemon. But at this point, like, I'm thinking a Stone Edge is probably going to take care of whatever it is in the back. Because if you think about what it's likely to be, I feel like Stone Edge should be quite strong. And of course, Pelipper should be strong against whatever is in the back as well. I'm thinking it's Jelly at this point. They stay in here for another minute, so I'm like, what do you have in the back, bro? I'm going to eat the first Surf here. What do you have in the back? They go for the catch. It is Fairthorn. In comes Pelipper. And this is Here I Am, Rock Me Like a Hurricane time. We're going to shield up the first one. It is just going to be a Power Whip, because of course, like, why would it not be? And yeah, in comes the Here I Am, Rock Me Like a Hurricane. And yeah, we just basically get off a Weather Ball, take this out. I honestly wouldn't mind them taking me out here at this point, so that the other thing doesn't get a farm down. But at this stage, like, we just go for the classic, get them into Mud Bomb range, and with the Hurricane, and that's a good game. We still have a shield, and we're going to, of course, heavily outpace. The opponent is not crying, they're smiling because it happened, and that's going to be a good game. Super strong team, guys. As you can see, like, a lot of those Lantern leads are pretty weak to your backline at times. Like, Reggie can just sometimes take care of that entire team, just depending on what the opponent has. So, very, very good games here. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. This is the final battle. If you're still here at this point, we've got another awkward lead just to send you on your way here before you hopefully have a fantastic day. Please do hit a like button on the stream, and of course, it's not a stream, and of course, I said that very awkwardly. They YOLO the Thunder here, which is respectable. And since they got a shield off us, we're going to YOLO the Hurricane. But yeah, thanks very much, everybody, for watching. Sorry for the lack of uploads. Let me know what you're going to be playing this week. We don't really have an amazing answer to Quagsire. So once again, Here I Am, Rock Me Like a Hurricane. I'm not expecting the shield boom. And we're going to look to catch a resisted Stone Edge on the Quagsire. The opponent predicted it, and they're going to fire off Mud Bombs. They'll get off 2 Mud Bombs before I get off 1 here, but at this point it is just game, set, and match. I probably should shield this, because like this should be pretty good to whatever's in the back. And the opponent seems to think so. I think they were stopping. It looked like they were stop tapping. It was very, very weird, but that ended up being a CMP. I thought I was going to win CMP, so I played to it, because I know that I've got 4 attack on, or like a very high attack stat on this thing. So I was happy enough to play the CMP. In comes Lantern. We get off this Mud Bomb, so we're now actually Mud Bombing it to put it into Zap Cannon range. We're definitely switching it up a little bit here. back in comes Big Ridge, and we just shield up the first one. Generally, like in competitive Pokemon Go, what people like to do is fire the Thunderbolt first, right? Which does the biggest amount of damage. Thunderbolt is the correct move to throw in this situation. I think one Thunderbolt and 2 Surfs without a debuff will take you out. And at this point, it's good games. We're just going to keep throwing debuffs, and yeah, at this point, they're going to need like 3 Thunderbolts to take us out. As you can see, that does way less damage now. Yep, you can fire off as many moves as you want there, buddy. You can fire off as many moves as you want there. Registeel is not going to go down. I'm getting very Irish today. I am from Northern Ireland. Some people do ask me where am I from, but I am from Northern Ireland. Now we're going to come in and go for Weather Balls. Just to add insult to injury, the Flying Toilet is going to take care of the Electric Dolphin, or whatever the hell this is. Good games, well played, thank you very much everybody. I'll hopefully see you tomorrow for an Ultra League video, or another one of these. Take care everybody, and have a fantastic rest of your day.